Yeah, I'm Charlamagne the God.
Andrew Schultz.
We are the Brilliant Idiots, and support for Brilliant Idiots comes from Squarespace. Squarespace gives you everything you need to make your next move into a reality, whether it's a portfolio to showcase your work, a store to sell your products and services, or a blog to share your ideas. Squarespace is ready with beautifully designed templates, customizable features that make building your website a simple and intuitive process. Get your free trial started today by going to squarespace.com and entering offer code IDIOT to get 10% off your first purchase. Now let's start the show.
Well, we got a show coming up in London, a live show, Brilliant Idiots Live.
August 5th we'll be in London. What's it called? The
Shout Out Live Festival.
Shout Out Live Festival.
Make sure you go check that out.
I'm doing a book signing before, too.
Oh, dope.
Yeah, I'm doing a book signing. Oh, man. I want to just salute the bookstore out there. I will in a second, as soon as I get it. But I'm definitely doing a book signing.
Well, in the meantime, while you look that up, so we got the book signing, but there's also the show. The website is a little misleading with the tickets. It said something about for guaranteed seats, you have to get these tickets, and those are sold out. Basically, what is a podcast festival, so people can go to the entire thing. From my understanding from them, and I spoke to them about this, it was that as long as you just get there, there'll be seats. Those guaranteed ones were the first few rows. I think this is their first time doing.
Have ticket sales picked up? I saw people tweeting that it was only a couple tickets up. I don't know if that's true or not.
People told me it was sold out. So I'm going to them. I'm going to these people. I'm going, yo, is it sold out? Whatsoever? They're like, no, those are the guaranteed seats. And I think it's their first time doing a festival. They'll work out these kinks eventually. But I believe there are tickets left for you guys to purchase. Also, I'm going to be in Buffalo the 24th to the 26th of August, and I still want a spot to watch that Mayweather fight, so somebody let me know. And then we got a Brilliant Idiots Live in New York City, Highline Ballroom, the 30th of September. We're doing Brilliant Idiots Live back home. That's going to be a big one. We got some special stuff lined up for that I can't talk about. And then we're going to be in Milwaukee for the Milwaukee Podcast Festival, headlining that. That'll be the 28th of October. That's my birthday weekend. And then I want you to just hold in your schedules. I can't say what it is just yet, but on November 9th, I want you to hold that date on your schedules. Make sure you're not doing anything that night. It's going to be a very special
is somebody
night for
doing
your boy.
A special? Is somebody doing a recorded special?
No, it's going to be a very special night for me. I don't know. We'll talk about it.
Salute to the New Hand Bookshop. That's where you can go grab yourself a copy of Black Privilege. Opportunity comes to those who create it. The book has done better than I ever imagined. It was on the New York Times bestsellers list 7 weeks in a row.
God bless.
It's just doing really well, man. And the biggest thing about this book to me is that people have been empowered by it. They've been inspired by it. And I didn't, I'm so used to living in this kind of ADD era where you put things out there and then you move on. I forget this is a book.
Yo, you lasted longer than Jay-Z's new album, bro.
Nah, 444 still going.
Nah, bro. Those money phones are out.
Yeah, we on to the book phone challenge. But I tell you one thing.
Where's the next single, Jay?
I haven't put 444 down. Like I listened to Izza by 21 Savage because I love 21. Great album.
Everybody.
I listened to Meek Mill. Meek is a good album. I like Meek. I love The Price of Being Great. That's a great record. I liked. I was listening to 2 Chainz before, so that's a good album. Vic Mensa. Now
you love Vic.
Vic. I played Vic quite a few times.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, I was killing Hove. But Vic Mensa, the autobiography, Vic's something special, man.
Really?
And I've always liked Vic. I've always bigged Vic up and always thought Vic was dope. But he really is what I thought he was. He's just dope, man. He's socially conscious. His flow is crisp. His words are articulate. Like, his music means something.
Yeah.
And he's just a dope-ass rapper. He's not one of those, J. Cole. I know y'all love J. Cole. I love J. Cole, too.
Yeah.
Because I like what he represents. But we can all admit J. Cole's music gets boring sometimes.
Yeah, he looks like one of the homeless kids with a pit bull. Have you ever seen the white homeless kids that hang out on St. Mark's Place? They got pit bulls and shit. That's what he's morphing into. I swear to God, he's going to be riding trains.
His appearance has nothing to do with it to me. But I like when J. Cole does the up-tempo records more. So a lot of his stuff is just like mundane. Vic is like that, but it's just always energy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's always energy. Same message, same approach, same level of consciousness, just a different energy. I like
it's like
Big
when
Mensa.
DMX could do a love song, but it's still hype.
It's still X. Yeah, it was Keisha, Latina, Tasha.
That's exactly what I was thinking about.
Yeah. What type of games are being played? How's it going down? Yeah. I fuck with
So you really like Vic?
I fuck with Vic. So between 444 and Vic Mensa, that's what I really been on. I love the 444 album though.
It was a great album. We all loved it. It was absolutely amazing. But I'm surprised how quickly we moved on. I'm surprised how quickly
I
the
didn't
money
move on.
phone. You didn't, but the general consensus, you would when Jay-Z put out Change Clothes, people stopped wearing throwbacks, right?
That's one of Jay-Z's most horrible records, by the way.
But it stopped right there, right?
Yeah.
The money phones were out a week later.
Well, here's the thing: it was people rebelling immediately from that.
Immediately,
like it was guys who were like, "No, we're gonna still do our money phones," which I always thought was stupid because Jay-Z never told y'all to stop doing money phones. What Jay-Z said was, no, he didn't. What Jay-Z said was, you on the gram putting money to your ear. There's a disconnect. We don't call that money over here. All Jay was saying is them little stacks you be holding in your ear on the gram. That ain't money to me.
Right.
It was just a play on words. He never said stop doing it. He never said stop doing it.
Okay, he didn't say it exclusively, but the idea was that, like, that's a silly thing to do with your money. There are better things you can do with your money.
He just said we don't call that money.
And that message was throughout the album, right?
By the way,
better investments you can make than just carrying around cash and putting it to your ear.
That's true, but
that shit looks beautiful.
But it's not even just rappers. Think about it. It's not even just rappers. It's regular people.
Yeah.
Going to their accounts, getting 100, and then getting 1,000 ones, and putting 100 on top, and just to do the money phone shit.
I gotta do that.
So it's like, yo, we don't call that money over here. It's a disconnect. I just thought it was a good play on word, but anyway.
Well, we call it money over here in the Schultz household.
I've been getting attacked all week.
Yeah,
long.
tell me how you feel, man.
I feel great.
I mean, everybody knows. You know how I know everybody knows?
How?
My white comic friends know.
Bro. This is how
I have my white comedian friends.
This is what pisses me off.
Yeah.
It's not even a bad thing, but I want to talk about this shit. You know what I'm saying? Because I just hate attacks on my character in a certain way. Like, especially when people say I'm prejudiced. If I'm prejudiced, all right. I hate that shit. I can't stand it. You know what I'm saying? Especially somebody like me who goes out of my way to try to build bridges.
Like, imagine they had a nickname for you, like alt-right Charlotte. That would be crazy, right? That would be so annoying to deal with.
I go out of my way to build bridges with people. Like, I want to bring people together. That's what we strive to do.
Yeah.
So I'm talking to my people. Like, I'm talking to, like, you know, a couple of my people in my team, and they're like, yo, you're famous. I'm like, what do you mean? And they're like, you're like, no, I know that we're working, but you're like famous. And I'm like, I don't give a fuck. Like, what the fuck this got to do with anything at a time like this? Don't talk to me about this shit. It's because I'm on the fucking Daily Beast or Rolling Stone. I don't give a shit about that right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to talk about this situation.
Sure.
Because whenever I see backlash in this way, I don't just assume, hey, I didn't do anything wrong. I said, let me step back and see if I did anything wrong in this situation.
How you learn from a situation?
I unequivocally, without a shadow of a doubt, absolutely, positively, to me, did nothing wrong in this situation.
Do you want to explain the situation?
Yeah,
I'm sure everybody knows, but just to give, because a lot of people might know about this vis-a-vis.
Via the bullshit, think pieces, and fake news that's out there.
Yo, if there's one thing we can credit Donald Trump for, it's exposing the fact that there is fake media out there. I'm not saying all media is fake, but there is fake media out there, and it can slander someone's character. And
there's no consequences to it, and it's a goddamn shame.
Okay, so break it down. What really, truly
we got
happened.
Little Duval on the Breakfast Club. This was Friday morning.
Yeah,
I asked Little Duval, what does he think about, you know, transgenders being banned from the military? And people were up. Like, I saw a think piece. You know, one of the transgenders activists, she was upset because she said I shouldn't even have asked Little Duval that. First of all,
why?
You always should ask comedians about social issues and relevant news. You can go look at any interview we've ever done with a comedian.
Yeah.
Always ask them about what's going on in the news right now, because most comedians have great takes on that. She felt like that wasn't a question for a comedian.
Why?
This is what I would tell any person who doesn't like to be stereotyped. Don't stereotype. You're stereotyping him based off the fact that he's a comedian, and you don't think that I should ask him those kind of questions.
Stephen Colbert's a comedian. He talks about it every night.
Exactly.
Trevor Noah's a comedian. He talks about it every night. Chris Rock, Dave Chappelle.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like,
it's absurd to assume that just because someone's a comedian, you wouldn't want. Matter of fact, a lot of times it's comedians that have an outside the box perspective on an issue.
D.L. Hughley, like. Honestly, when certain things go down, I go to these guys first.
Of course.
I want to see what they think.
You should.
Salute to D.L. Hughley. I did his podcast. D.L. Hughley said he doesn't listen to me. And the reason he said he doesn't listen to me is because he says I'll say things that he want to say.
Yeah, and then it'll affect him. Yeah.
There you go. Boom.
I do that with comics. Yeah.
So I asked Little Duval this question, and Duval said he didn't want to answer it. He was just like, shout out to all the trannies. I thought I was correcting him by saying transgenders, and Angela said transgenders, and Envy said transgenders.
Right.
And yeah, I laughed when he said, "Man, don't ask me that." I was already laughing. You know what I mean? Because it's just the way he looked. Duval, first of all,
Duval. It's different.
No, they don't know Duval.
No,
Duval,
you personally know Duval.
Yeah.
So,
Duval is the kid in the class that you don't want to be by when the teacher's saying something serious.
Or the one that you don't look at when you're giving your presentation.
There you go.
Because all he's doing is trying to get you to crack up.
He's trying to make you fucking laugh. Exactly. And he looks crazy. All right, he's big ass head, big ass hand,
tiny body,
4'6". Like he's just hilarious.
It's great. Yeah, so he's like a penguin.
So then Envy asked him if you had sex with a transgender, and I'm only quoting this because that is the term we were using. Because I didn't even know that you can't even say transgender now. You have to say transgender person or transgender female or transgender male. I didn't know that. I just thought transgender was the politically correct way.
You can't say transgender.
No, I thought you could, but
you could say transgender. But it doesn't mean that it's a woman. Of course, if you had sex with a transgender, but it's just not specific enough.
I'm just telling them what they told me, Schultz. I get it. I'm just telling you what they told me.
We can't say anything. Even tranny, like I call my grandma Granny. Right? Look, I'm just saying, like, I don't understand.
I'm not telling. I can't tell them how.
It goes back to what happened. Was it like last week we were talking about this? How everybody wants their N-word. You know what I mean? Like, if there's no malice behind a certain word, like, for example, cracker. Like, guys, white people don't take offense to it. Because,
some white people do, I'm sure.
Yeah, but they're pussies. Dude, if you're a white guy, like, seriously offended by the word cracker, or what's another one for white people? What do they call you? Wet dog. Honky. Yeah, Oh, how dare you call me honky? How can I carry on? I'm so triggered. I carry on my day.
White devil.
Well, that one is a little...
That one stings a little bit?
Bro, that one stings a little bit, bro, because you're bringing God into it. You know what I mean? He could be listening. Oh, you said he's the devil? Oh, he going straight down there.
So... Yeah, so
I guess my point is, I'm not saying that the word isn't bad to certain people, but to somebody who is ignorant to that culture, they might not know that that's a bad word.
Yeah, exactly.
Everybody knows the N word is bad.
Exactly, but when you know better, you do better.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So when you learn the language,
and
you
these
speak the language.
conversations help you
absolutely
know better.
So when Envy asked Duval if he would have sex with a transgender, and then found out later. They used to be a man, or what a boy, whatever.
Yep.
Or present as a man or boy. That's the other technical term you have to say. Present as.
They got man parts.
Yeah. So Duval goes, yo, you may not want to hear this, or this may hurt some people's feelings, but they gonna die. I immediately stopped laughing at whatever I was laughing at, and I say, you can't do that. That's a hate crime. I'm like, you can't do that, Duval. Conversation continues. At another point in the conversation, because it's two conversations going on here. One is about disclosure. One is about the killing of trans people.
Right.
I totally condemn hate crimes. I totally condemn the killing of trans people. The disclosure thing, I said, I do feel like there should be some type of consequences and repercussions if you used to be a man or boy and you're a full woman now. Because a full woman, I'm talking about you got the whole surgery, you got everything done, we've had sex, then you tell me later on you used to be a guy. That's kind of. I think when you take away somebody's power of choice.
Sure.
I think that's criminal in a way.
It's deceiving.
I said, I think there should be some type of, I think jail or something. I'm not like something. It should be basically I was just trying to say I think that should be some type of crime, right? So then Duval goes, yeah, I have my own consequences and repercussions. I'm like, Duval, you can't go around killing transgenders.
Right.
You can't do that. Like you just can't. Like
right.
I condemned it right then, right there.
Yeah.
Then I was trying to explain to him how Janet Mock, the transgender activist, and he asked me who she was. I said, transgender activist, beautiful person. I said, I was trying to explain to him how she said that her first partner, she didn't disclose that she used to present as a man, but all her partners after, she did. And so Duval goes, who is Janet Mock? And I told him, and then Envy held up her book to show him.
Yeah, it was like, yo, you don't think that she's cute?
And I go, yo, you can't tell me she's not pretty.
Yeah.
And Duval goes, shout out to that that nigga doing his thing. Yeah, he said that nigga doing his thing. Shout out to Janet.
Which is a funny line.
I laughed.
It's a funny line.
And I understand people were upset because they said Duval misgendered her. Yes, he did. I'm not laughing at Janet in that situation. I'm laughing at Duval with his little hands and his big ass head with them big eyes. That nigga doing his thing.
Yeah.
I laughed, right?
Yeah.
So, of course, Saturday night. It was about Saturday afternoon.
Also, just real quick,
okay.
If he didn't say the thing about alluding to killing the trans woman, I don't think the line that N-word's doing his thing would be as offensive. I don't even think it would have.
They would still be upset that he
They would be upset, but I don't even think it would be a news story.
By the way, I'm going to tell you something.
But do you understand what I'm saying?
Duval said that because Janet is pretty.
Exactly.
Duval
it's an acknowledgement.
Duval looked at that picture and couldn't say anything bad other than that nigga doing his thing.
That's a great compliment.
I mean, it's not a compliment because she's a woman, but he couldn't say anything other than that.
First of all,
and then Angela Yee corrected that.
Yeah,
Angela Yee said she's a woman.
No, you guys. I listened to the interview. It is whatever. But that being said, okay, they're two very different things. But I want you to. Matter of fact, you finish and then we'll get back to it.
All right. So Saturday afternoon, and I that happened Friday. I honestly didn't think anything was gonna come of it. I said, yeah, they're probably gonna get at Duval. You know what I'm saying for saying that, but being that we corrected it, you know what I mean. I told Duval, I said, yeah, they're probably gonna get at you about that. Mm-hmm. You know, but we denounced it. Saturday afternoon, I'm watching this clip get circulated online. Mm-hmm. It's like a 32-second clip.
Right
now. I said to Duval, you can't go around killing transgenders. Mm-hmm. This clip starts off. This clip is edited to where it starts off killing transgenders.
No.
That's the first thing you hear when you're killing transgenders. And then it goes into Duval's whole thing about whatever. I didn't say that. What I said was, if I have sex with one and they tell me they used to be a boy, I'm going to be so mad I want to kill him. And then Envy just holds up the book. So it looks like we're using Janet Mock as a prop. Like you don't get the whole context of the conversation. They took out everything of me denouncing it and saying you can't do that and it's a hate crime. I specifically said you can't kill transgenders. It took all of that out. So I'm thinking,
correcting the word tranny.
Yeah, I'm like, this is nothing. This is somebody trying to start something. But boy, did it start something.
Yeah.
Like it really lit a fuse that has carried on to even now. And now it's like you got this big discussion going on because you have people defending us saying that we denounced what Duval said, and we defended the fact that trans people should not be killed. You know what I'm saying? We did.
Yeah.
We went out there and we said it, and it's just weird to me watching people omit that just to push a false fucking narrative.
And what do you think that false narrative supports?
The false narrative supports that
PR.
We're transphobic, that we're misogynistic, that we're homophobic. And I'm like, we're actually doing the complete opposite of that. Like, we had Janet Mock a week ago. Do you understand that the Breakfast Club gets no benefit from having Janet Mock on other than from that community? Because our core audience, the people that listen to us every day, they don't want to hear that, bro.
Yeah.
You know how much heat we got from that? Our core audience calling me gay because I said she was beautiful, and people like, I don't want to hear about, transgender people while I got my kids in the car.
Sure.
Like, I'm like, to me, that's whack. I'm saying to them, that's whack. Like, because to me, having Janet Mock on represents something bigger.
Sure.
We're trying to build bridges between that community and our audience.
So you're willing to take a hit?
Absolutely.
To make a better future?
Absolutely.
Right? For lack of a better term.
Absolutely.
I take a little bit of ratings hit, or I take some criticism.
Absolutely.
To, in the future, hopefully educate people on this issue. And the reason why it bothered me is because this is not the first trans person you've had on one of your platforms.
Yeah, I had Teak. I think Teak.
That's you had a trans man on
Uncommon Sense. That's Teak.
Uncommon Sense.
Yeah.
And and they were there for the conversation. I think Teak is from the Bronx, right? Or it's from New York somewhere.
I'm not sure.
I don't know.
Actually.
But point is, you've had. It's not like that you haven't done this. Now you haven't shared a platform with these people and tried to at least let
Teak
them.
Milan. That's his name.
Yeah,
Teak Milan.
At least let them educate.
Yes.
The masses on this type of situation. So I think you personally have been very open-minded about this, and you've tried to at least help people understand what it is to be trans. I mean, that's the biggest level of. That's the biggest barrier of entry, really, is just understanding, right? It's easy to hate somebody that you don't talk to. It's easy to hate someone you don't have a conversation with. It's easy to hate someone that you know nothing about. The second you start talking to somebody and they're like, oh, yeah, they're a Knicks fan. Oh, shit, they love Subway sandwiches. You start
realizing you got things in common.
Exactly.
You start realizing this is a human being.
He got the same shirt as you. And it's like, oh, fuck, we both shop at Urban?
Absolutely.
All right, so that's what happens when you have these conversations.
Yes.
Now, I thought there was two conversations that were interesting to have. One is the conversation of what Duval said. Was it right or wrong? Which I think that you guys
disclosure. You mean?
Yeah. Well, that's second.
Okay.
So what Duval said, you guys nipped in the bud right away.
Yeah, because you can't listen. I don't fuck with hate crimes.
Exactly.
Like I don't care. Like nobody should be killed because of who they are.
Exactly.
Period.
Yeah.
Like I don't give a fuck. I don't care if you black. I don't care if you white. I don't care if you a transgender person, a gay person. You should not be killed because of who you are. Right. Period.
Absolutely
like that's
not.
whack.
Absolutely not. And the other thing was disclosure, though.
Yes, that's
disclosure,
that's
a totally different conversation. And again, people who are listening to this, you should already know this about the Brilliant Idiots. We're going to have an open conversation. We're going to discuss many different points of views about this issue. If you're not willing to have that, turn it off right now. We're just going to have an open discussion about this idea of disclosure and see if we get there through it. Disclosure is telling the guy or girl that you have sex with that you are trans.
That you used to present as a guy or
used to present as a girl.
Yeah.
And the argument for this, I don't even understand how that. First of all, let's have empathy first. I understand how frightening that must be for a trans person.
Absolutely.
Imagine you're trans and you know that trans people have been killed. You know that trans people have been beat up.
Absolutely.
You know that trans people have been, harassed just for being trans.
Absolutely.
Let alone you're in some dude's house or some chick's house and you're about to tell him. That's got to be scary.
Absolutely.
So I totally empathize with that. That being said, I think it's the right thing to do because you don't understand what that person's life is about. Mm-hmm. You don't understand what's going on in their life. People could be religious, right? And in their religion, while they don't want to do any harm to you, because their religion says not to do any harm, they could also feel like that's a sin. Now you're essentially deceiving them into sinning. I could see why that'd be upset. It'd be no different than if McDonald's sold chicken sandwiches this whole time, saying they're chicken, and then one day they go, it was actually pork. Now you got this Jewish and Muslim community that have been eating, and Hindu community have been eating pork this whole time, and they've been deceived.
I understand your point. I'm not even going to bring religion into it. I'll keep it simple. If I'm a heterosexual man and I have sex with a transgender person, the transgender. When I'm saying transgender person, I'm talking about somebody who's had the full body experience, like got the vagina and everything. I have sex. I like them. I like it. It was good. And then they tell me after the fact that they used to be a guy.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be confused. Like I'm gonna be like, so what does that mean? Like, what does that mean for me?
Yeah, I'm not gonna hurt you. No, I'm gonna be like, yo, you got me. But you're not gonna get me.
I'm thinking I'm gonna be confused about me. I'm gonna be like, whoa. So
why?
I had sex with, like, wait.
But that's what I don't understand. Why?
Because she used to be a guy. But
but your body doesn't know that. You had sex with a woman, right?
Yes.
100% woman.
Yes.
In your mind, there's nothing else here but a woman.
By the way, that's I learned that this week too. Like, guys who have sex with transgender women shouldn't feel gay because they are women.
Well, they're women, I guess, emotionally and like mentally in their brain, but also physically. If you're physically attracted to somebody, right?
Don't you see where all of that could be a little?
I see it
confusing. Like for you as a man,
me no, because if I look at you and all I think is woman, and then we have sex and you have vagina, in my head I'm not going, it's probably a fake vagina.
So there's no problem then. You just want them to tell you up front.
I just want them to, because I'm allowed. Here's the thing: there's a difference between hate and pickiness. This is what I don't like. Right? Like we assume. I was reading this article that said that if straight guys don't want to have sex with trans women, they're transphobic.
That's
and
not
it's like
true.
it's complete bullshit.
That's not true.
I don't want to have sex with women when their second toe is longer than their first toe, right? There's certain girls that you don't want to have sex with because they have an underbite. There's certain girls that you don't want to have sex with because you like.
I have not had sex with a girl because she had an inverted nipple.
Inverted nipple.
I literally
outie belly button.
I literally took off her shirt. One nipple was sticking out.
Yeah.
The other one was pushed in. I said, "What is that?" She said to me, "That's the breast all the guys like to suck on." You know what? I think you should go.
So that's all I'm saying. It's like, do you hate women with inverted nipples?
Am I inverted nipple phobic?
I guess you're inverted nipple phobic. I guess I'm second toe longer phobic.
That's what I'm saying.
Do you know what I mean? It's just the idea that if you don't have sex with somebody, you hate them is preposterous. I can't say every girl who hasn't had sex with me hates me. Yeah. She's just not interested in having sex with me. I don't hate all men. I just don't want to have sex with them. Same thing, right? So, furthermore, how many guys do we know that are like, I don't like fake tits? I don't like fake asses.
Fake asses, yeah.
Well, I'm sure there's a certain amount of guys who don't like fake vaginas and fake penises. And the second you say, I don't want fake vagina, fake penis, you become a hateful person. But saying you don't like fake tits and fake asses, it's just, oh no, you're organic. You like it natural.
I can see, I can see both sides. I mean, I get it.
All I'm saying is that there's a difference between hate and pickiness, and I think it's okay to be picky, and I think it's okay to know these things. And furthermore, to take it out of the trans world, I think if you've had a lot of plastic surgery, you should disclose that to the person that you're with in case you guys want to have a child together. If I'm about to have a child with somebody, I'm investing in how you look right now, yo.
Yeah.
Like if me and you have a child and I'm looking at you, I'm like, okay, the child's gonna get that nose. I got a nose, so I gotta get a littler nose on the girl so we could make sure the nose is normal.
You'll be wondering like why can't I get her pregnant? Once again. You think something's wrong with you.
Well
initially you'll be like, damn, is it my sperm or what's going on? Like,
so I'm not even talking about trans. I'm talking about just a regular girl. There was like this Chinese dude who had a kid with this girl, and the kid came out ugly as fuck. And then he started looking at his wife, and it was like, yo, what'd you look like when you were younger? And the wife was brutal.
What?
Yeah, and he divorced her ass.
Man, that's whack.
No, it is what it is. But all I'm saying is just disclose this information before we invest in a child.
Listen, I'm
human.
the guy that says live your truth. I always say live your truth so nobody can use your truth against you. You know what I'm saying? I think that honesty is always the best policy. You know what I mean? And truthfully, why would you want to be with somebody that you're kind of deceiving in a way? You know what I mean? I understand that your whole life you identify as a woman or you identify as a man, but if we're going to be together for the rest of our lives, or we're really going to have this relationship grow, have it built on an honesty of have a foundation of honesty.
Absolutely.
So the disclosure thing is a whole other argument. You know what I mean? Like that's a whole other debate.
That's what I'm saying. It's a completely separate thing.
And truthfully, it don't bother me at all. And the reason it don't bother me is I'm a married man. So I'm not putting my dick in no other pussies.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll be honest, it is a new thing.
I can understand Duval feeling that way, or even you feeling that way, because y'all single, y'all still out here.
When I'm on this dating app, I'm looking at that's part of the categories now. Now I gotta look to see if a girl has nice feet. I gotta go look to see if a girl has, the right legs, nice body.
And you might be into it. You might meet a trans woman who is everything that you've ever wanted in a woman.
Yeah.
You never know.
Yeah. I mean, shit, personality wise, they might understand it better. I've always said this in the past. It's like gay dudes got it made because you get to literally marry your best friend. Think about that shit, right? Like if you have a girlfriend, you're kind of settling, right? If your best friend, you never argue about what movies you're going to see. You're going to go watch the game together. You're going to do all these things that you already have in common, right? With your girl, it's like, I don't want to go. She's like, I don't want to go see Dunkirk. I don't want to go see Planet of the Apes. It's like, all right, fine. We'll go see fucking Girls Trip or whatever the fuck you want to go see.
Great movie, by the way.
Whatever. It doesn't matter. My point.
So misogynistic.
How is that misogynistic?
I don't know. I don't even know what misogynistic means anymore.
Exactly. Everything is misogyny. It's just crazy.
I was looking up the definition of misogynistic, and they were like,
don't see Girls Trip.
No, a man that doesn't think women are equal or something to that effect. I don't know. What's the somebody look up the definition of misogyny. Yeah, I just looked it up and I read it and I was like, this ain't me. Now, if you want to say I was a pervert at a point and I would flirt with women and say inappropriate things, that's not. I don't know. I don't think that's misogyny.
I think misogyny is you don't believe women deserve equality.
That's far from me. There's hatred. That's what it was. Yeah, a hatred.
Dislike or contempt for women?
You know what it is, man? I thought about this. I think over the years, people have watched me do certain interviews, right? And if I'm wrong for this, please let me know on SoundCloud. Of course, I don't talk to Issa Rae the same way I talk to the real side chicks of Charlotte. Of course, I don't talk to, Tracy Ellis Ross the same way I talk to Buffy the Body. Of course, I won't talk to an Ava DuVernay the same way I talk to a Natalie Nunn. And I'm just talking about people that I've interviewed historically over time. You know what I mean? Like, it's just two different approaches. Like, I'm going to approach reality show chicks and video vixens in a different way. Even now, but even with some of the so-called IG models that y'all disrespect the shit out of, because when I had Bernice Burgos on the show last week, and I actually know Bernice, and I've known Bernice for a while. Remember when Bernice used to work in the mall? Me and Bernice have sat down and ate dinner together. Like, she's a cool individual. I know her personally. You know what I mean? When I sit down and I sit there and try to have a sensible conversation with her, y'all tell me I don't go hard enough. You didn't go hard enough on Bernice. You should have slandered Bernice, and you should have did this to Bernice. Right. We literally had the real side chicks of Charlotte on the very next day. Why y'all ain't do that to Bernice? So it's just like I do. I approach different.
Yeah, I don't understand what's wrong with that.
I approach different people in different ways.
I don't understand.
There's no way. How would I look talking to Patti LaBelle? The way I talk to freaking...
Yeah, but what is the issue with that? This one I understand is you speak to people in different ways. You speak to your parents differently. You speak to your friends. Like, you speak to... I'm not going to lie. Like, when I'm speaking to people in Spanish, I speak differently to them because they're going to understand certain cultural nuances that you're not going to understand. Yeah. When I speak to friends that I know are involved in hip hop, there's certain references I'm going to use, certain shows I could talk about. When I'm speaking to like my super white comic friends, I'm just not going to say certain things, bring up certain things that they're going to know about. They're not going to know about Meek Mill's new album. Right? They're not going to know certain little terminology like the word bet. Absolutely. Like I'll say it, but you're not going to know. So a good communicator speaks on the level of the person that they're talking to.
I'm water, bro. Stop putting me in a box and want me to be one thing. I'm not going to ask Patti LaBelle if I can suck a fart out her butt.
I also wouldn't want to do that with Patti LaBelle.
Oh, you out your mind.
Is Patti LaBelle bad?
What?
Really?
Bro, back in my Savage days, everybody remembers this, hopefully, but if you're new to Charlamagne the God, you remember I had a top 5 list of women who I wanted to suck a fart out their butt.
Any trans women on that list?
No, not that I know of. It was Kelly Rowland, okay, who I mean, first of all, I don't do this list anymore because I'm married, but I don't do that to Kelly anymore because she's married.
Right.
Jennifer Lopez.
Right.
Serena Williams.
Right.
Stacey Dash. This is before, we knew that she was ultra-conservative.
Yeah.
And Patti LaBelle.
Really? Patty
was my 5.
Did you tell Patty that when she came on the show?
Absolutely not.
You got to keep the same energy, bro.
No,
you got to keep the same energy, bro.
No.
What's up with keeping the same energy, dog?
Listen, you know when I was in Philly doing radio back in the day?
Yeah.
Because that's where Patty's from? Patty's son called the radio station like, I'm going to fuck you up when I see you.
Sons in Philly always get upset, huh?
All right?
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, it's not. And I said, it's not my fault your mom's is hot, bro.
Yeah.
I hope he's still not upset about that. I don't think I ever ran into him.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. They get sensitive, those sons. Jazzy Jeff's son was upset at me when I was talking about all the L's Philly takes.
Listen, the moral of the story is...
Oh, here's what I wanted to say.
Okay, go ahead.
It was about the what is it called? Disclosure. You're familiar with this thing called stealthing, right?
It's like ghosting?
No, stealthing is when you're having sex with a girl, you take off the condom, you don't tell her, and you continue having sex with her.
That's criminal.
Why?
Because anytime you take away somebody's power of choice, it's criminal. It's a lot of things that go with having unprotected sex. You can get an STD. You might get her pregnant. Like, don't do that. And by the way, guys, when you do stuff like that, you're stupid because you don't know what she got.
Absolutely. Oh, no. It's beyond stupid. Dumb. It's beyond stupid and it's wrong, right? But I think it's very similar to a trans woman or trans men not disclosing how they used to present themselves. And I think it's this because think about it. It's the same thing. You and the girl that you're stealthing both want to have sex with each other. You're actively engaging and having sex, right? But you're actively engaging and having sex based on this idea that you both know, right? And then you take off the condom and she doesn't know you take off the condom, so you're deceiving her. You're deceiving her, you're taking away her power of choice. It's very simple, very similar to the situation with a trans woman.
I'm going to be honest with you when it comes to the trans women thing. I don't want to compare it to anything.
No, but let's just I think
I'm going to tell you why I don't want to compare it to anything. It leaves too much room for error. Because we live in this society where people just pick apart. They're not listening in detail. The people that we're trying to reach, because this is the thing, we're not having conversations. Like I think that heterosexual people or cisgendered men, whatever they call, I don't even know. I can't even keep up. But if we're gonna have these conversations with trans women and trans men, like we should be open to both sides. I think they should know how you single guys, you single cisgender males feel. Like, you know what I'm saying? You would like disclosure. But also we should hear why they feel like they don't want to disclose. Because I read Janet Mock's op-ed piece, and she said that it's up to us to make the world a safer place. You know what I'm saying? In order for them to feel open enough to reveal that. Now, this is my thing. I
don't think it gets safer when you deceive somebody. I think safety comes from honesty.
But we have to normalize trans women enough in order for them to feel like they can be honest.
Oh, absolutely. 100%. I'm not saying that we shouldn't do it. I mean, the more normal it gets, the more easier it is for them. And I understand how scary it is. All I'm saying is that you're engaging in a sexual interaction with somebody that you feel like you want to have sex. So like, let's say I'm about to have sex with this woman. I want to have sex with her. She wants to have sex with me, right? Now, she knows she's trans. I don't. That might change my sexual dynamic and my sexual interest, right? Same thing with stealthing. I want to have sex with a girl. She wants to have sex with me. I take off the condom. She doesn't know that. Me having no condom might change her wanting to have sex with me.
I'm so glad I'm married. I swear, I'm so glad I'm married.
But you understand what I'm saying?
Whenever you talk like that, I think about all the girls I used to have sex with back in the day, and they'd be like, "Take the condom off."
Oh, girls never want a condom. It's crazy. This idea.
I'm not gonna say that either,
bro. They do not.
Girls never want a condom.
I've never had sex with a girl more than one time, and she didn't try to not use a condom. I've never in my life had multiple sexual encounters with a woman, and she didn't ask me to hit it raw.
We all know unprotected sex isn't the safest, but it feels the best.
It's not even a comparison.
It's not even a comparison. It's not natural to wear a condom.
No.
It's just not.
It's like eating a burger with the wrapper still on.
It makes no goddamn sense. All right?
You take the plastic off of the hamburger.
When you're in the middle of the summer and it's 100 fucking degrees and you butt naked and you got that ceiling fan rolling, that goddamn plastic latex adds about 5 degrees to your body. So you're still hot.
Oh, I don't even know the temperature and nothing like that. All I know, honestly, I'm 33. The only reason I use a condom is to last longer. Let's keep it very real. Hey, that's the only reason I'm using a condom. If I think you got an STD, I'm not fucking you.
By the way,
let's keep it real.
By the way, you're gonna do that to your wife every now and then when you get my age.
Yo, you wrap it up
every now and then. If I have like 2 or 3 experiences where I'm premature ejaculating, I'm like, I got something for your ass. Put this goddamn condom on, motherfucker. All right,
you get an old school get one of those New York subway condoms. Got no lube or nothing on it.
I get the thin joint. You know what I'm saying? I know she good. You know what I'm saying? I get the thin joint.
Yo, I'm not gonna lie. I buy 2 types.
If it breaks, we'll be okay. All right. All right. If it breaks, me and the wife will be okay.
You got a sister.
You just pay some bills, man.
Let's do it.
Today's episode of Brilliant Idiots is brought to you by HBO's Insecure, one of the best goddamn shows on television. Creator and star Issa Rae is back with a brand new season of her deeply relatable series about friends, love, and L.A. Man, let me tell you something about Insecure on HBO. Mm-hmm. So last season, it ended with Lawrence giving back shots to Tasha, okay? This season, it started with Lawrence fucking Tasha sideways from the back.
Right.
God damn it, Lawrence. Set in Inglewood, season 2 of Insecure finds Issa dealing with the repercussions of her infidelity and the fallout of her breakup with longtime boyfriend Lawrence. Should I give you a spoiler? Huh? Should I tell you how Issa wanted Lawrence to come over to the house so bad, so she told him that she had mail of his over there?
Hot.
And Lawrence waited a couple days before he came. And then when Lawrence finally came, he walked in the house and Issa was walking around in her little underwear. So Lawrence said, "Oh, I left something in the bathroom." And he walked to the bathroom and came out and then pushed her on the couch and gave her 15.2 seconds of unprotected sex. Huh?
Should have used a condom.
Should I tell you about that? Should I tell you about how he clearly shot her club up and she'll probably get pregnant later on this season?
Oh, that's what's going to happen.
But the best part, Lawrence kissed her on the cheek and said, "I got to go." I kissed her on the cheek and said, "I gotta goddamn go."
You don't need to give these cheaters pleasantries.
Oh, man.
You don't owe her nothing.
Not only is Lawrence giving Issa 15.2 seconds of unprotected sex, he's slowly trying to get back on his feet, and he's still conflicted about his feelings for Issa. That's why he went over there, knocked her off, and kept it moving, okay? A little pump and pass. And Issa's best friend, Molly, faces her own set of uncharted waters as she reshifts the focus on herself, put men on the back burner, and seek help from a therapist. It's about time. Not to mention life at work gets messy for Molly when she's faced with wage inequality at the boys club that is her law firm. This summer, Insecure isn't holding back nothing. Watch Insecure Season 2 Sundays at 10:30 p.m. on HBO. Have you ever did a little pump piece?
What is that? A hit and then
pump piece. You come over, you give her a couple pumps, you premature ejaculate and you're out.
Yeah, I have done that.
Pump piece.
I did a pump piece.
That's
I had a girl
Lawrence
come up.
Did a little pump piece.
I had a girl. I felt really bad about this. This was when my savage days when I got single and I was just a fucking whore. And I had a girl come up from Tampa, and this is when one of the first girls I actually ever flew somewhere, and she came up from Tampa and she weighed like 100 pounds more than she looked like she weighed. She was she was trans skinny, and okay. I remember I felt justified leaving because I felt that she lied to me about herself.
Really?
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Are you paying attention or are you just texting?
I'm listening. You said you felt like she lied about herself.
Not really. You're just texting.
I'm listening to you.
It's great to have a conversation with someone just fucking
I'm
sits there
listening
and
to
texts,
you,
know
man.
what I mean?
I can multitask.
I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it.
Should I have given you full disclosure that I was about to text before?
No, you gave it to me when you have the phone fucking in my face and you're tapping away. I can only put up with it for so long. I hope these trans people come at you, man. Fuck you.
Oh, listen. Salute to Joe Budden. Joe Budden said the realest shit on Everyday Struggle. Joe Budden said, "I would love to side with the trans gender people against Charlamagne to get him the fuck out of here. All right? But I can't on this one because there's nothing there. All right? Wow. But he said, I cannot wait to link up with somebody to get Charlamagne the fuck up out of here. I like an honest person, bro.
Yeah,
Speaking of, I like it.
Yeah.
You know, like me, we have a nice little friendly competition. I respect the fact that so many people want to get me the fuck out.
Yeah. I mean, if he really wanted you to get you the fuck out, he would start dating Janet Mock.
Whoa.
That would be the ultimate commitment.
Well, she's married.
Well, he would break that relationship.
She's married. But yeah, it's very interesting watching the same usual suspects pile on whenever some bullshit happens with me.
Who came on now?
I mean, it's the same people. I don't know their names. Like, I see their names and I'm like, oh, that's her again. Or, oh, that's him again. And then they try to take everything and
say names.
I'm not saying their names.
Why?
I'm not saying your name. I'm not giving them clowns no more light no more. I'm not doing that. I'm not giving them no energy. That's what they want. They write these think pieces and they at people. You know what I'm saying? They at me, thinking I'm going to retweet it, thinking I'm going to say something about it. Like, nah, fuck y'all.
Yeah.
Fuck y'all. I know how y'all feel about me, and I'm cool on that. But guess one thing about Charlamagne, and I tell y'all this all the time, I don't forget shit.
Right.
I don't forget shit. And I always, always, always land on my feet. You know what I'm saying? This is like, we good over here. Like, and the whole thing that the Breakfast Club boycott is so weird to me. And I'm so cautious of how I talk to that community. I'm like, you know, I don't even know if boycott is the proper thing to say when transgenders are protesting against you. I'm serious. I'm dead serious. Like, it felt when I'm like, can we even say that? So my thing is this. Why would you want to get rid of a platform that is an ally, that could be your ally, that gives you a voice?
Yeah.
Why? Like, it makes no sense. You literally want to cut your nose off to spite your face.
Yeah.
Like, why? Like, who haven't we given a platform to?
Well, that's the interesting question for me. Is it like you give a platform to tons of people who say that they're going to kill people, tons of people who have killed people, and tons of people who claim to want to kill people all the time. Rappers in their music, right? Like, you just had 21 Savage on. 21 Savage put out an album. I'm sure he threatened to kill people way more times than Duval has threatened.
By the way, 21 Savage said he'd have shot that crackhead if he was Rosa Parks.
So then, okay, listen, and we all agree with that.
Back of the bus, what?
And we all agree with it. So I think what you should do in the future is anytime you have a comedian on, you should have a beat playing in the background during the entire interview.
It's got to be to a beat.
And if there's a beat playing in the background during the entire interview, apparently the expectation for that person and the standard for that person is lowered drastically. Yeah. And now you don't have to worry about any issues. I want to see consistency.
That's what one of the young women who came to protest me at Politicon, because, I didn't tell you that. They came to protest me at Politicon.
Oh, we saw the video?
Yes, to my guy Ari, from MSNBC. You know, we was out there, and one, Patrice is from the Black Lives Matter movement. She's one of the founders of the Black Lives Matter movement.
Right.
The other two young ladies, I know one's name is Blossom. I think the other one's name is Ashley. Don't quote me on that. But they were like, you let Little Duval come on there and say those things. I don't let anybody come on and say anything. They're all grown. Like, I give them the platform to say what they want.
You do let them come on. You just didn't know that they were going to say that.
Yeah, exactly.
And you can never know how someone's going to react.
Absolutely.
I just don't understand why you're blaming a platform for the opinions of the guests. That's a very dangerous situation that we're in.
But Ashley also said that the music we promote, or the music we push, promotes transphobia. And I'm trying to think, well, what song is transphobic?
Are people talking about trans?
Not that I know of. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't like.
Well, I mean, Ashley, were you?
I don't even know if that's her name, so I don't know.
Or whatever the girl's name is, whatever your name is. Like, were you upset at all the songs that we've been listening to our whole life about killing? Like, people are like, you're normalizing the killing of trans people. What about the normalization of drugs or the more of like when I say these things about gangster rap, which I listen to and indulge in, right? I'm an asshole. When you say them about the trans community, you're a hero. Where's the consistency? What I'm saying, when she says, what you're doing to the trans community by putting these ideas out there in the world, it's absolutely awful, you can't do it. She's an activist, she's a hero, right? When I say the exact same argument about drugs and violence, I'm a bigot.
Listen, man.
What the fuck is going on here?
What you're saying, but I deal with
murder's murder, yo.
I deal with empathy. I see things from both sides. There's a lot of things I learned this week that I didn't know. I think it's like, correct me if I'm wrong again, people that's listening on SoundCloud. I think it's 22 people or 15, 22 trans people or 15 trans people have been killed this year.
15.
It's 15.
Yeah.
13 are women of color.
Yeah.
So I totally understand them being upset. The thing that I don't understand is Duval didn't put a race on it, on what he said. Duval said transgenders. Like he didn't put a race on it. So exactly. I don't know how it's become this black transgender thing. Like he said, he spoke about all transgender. You know what I'm saying?
Kill all of them.
Yeah, like it was weird. Like it was stupid. You know what I'm saying? Like he spoke for all of them. Like so I don't understand how it became like this black trans woman thing. You know what I'm saying?
Well, whatever your movement is, that's what you'll, support. That's what you'll find a way to do.
I get it. I mean, like I said, man.
Trying to publicize. What I thought was very interesting, though, is that they came into your conversation at Politicon and they were yelling and screaming. They weren't letting you talk.
You bitch ass nigga. You punk motherfucker. I was like, whoa.
Yeah. And then, trans whatever are not a joke, whatever. Trans women are not a joke. All these screaming, not even having a conversation. I'm watching this clip last night. I think it was last night or 2 nights ago about when Tommy Lahren and Chelsea Handler spoke at Politicon. I saw the same girl, the same trans woman that was screaming at you, having a polite conversation with Tommy Lahren, going, you know what, you might not understand some of the weight and gravity of the things that you say. I was like, where's this energy with Charlemagne? Where's this energy with the guy who's had a platform for trans people and brought trans people on the show? I don't know if Tommy ever did that with the Blaze. Tommy's out here saying that the trans army band makes sense. She's pro-trans army band, and you're speaking to her with a level of calm and politeness that you could not afford to the guy who's actually supported your community. That's the bullshit lack of consistency I'm talking about.
By the way, I told Ari, if you watch the video,
I tried to send you a photo of that shit. I'm watching like, I cannot believe that. What you might not understand, Tommy, which to be completely honest with you, is the right way to approach it.
Absolutely.
Right?
Listen, I'm always open for conversation.
And I'm saying, I just wish she had that same energy with you, because you guys could have had a conversation. You might have been able to nip this whole thing in the bud if you guys had a talk that day. And you were able to clear up exactly what you were saying and how you defended
But I didn't say nothing.
But you couldn't.
But I know I'm talking about the Duval. I didn't say anything. But even with Ari, like they were trying to shut them up. I'm like, no, let them talk. Yeah. Let the trans women that are here who have something to say, let them talk.
I heard you pull a little Maxine.
Pull a little Maxine. What's that?
Can I reclaim my time?
Reclaiming my time.
Oh, yeah.
Can I reclaim my time, please?
Can I reclaim my time?
Can I reclaim my time?
That's it. That's all. I want to reclaim my time. No,
you bitch ass.
Oh, my God. By the way, man, salute to Blossom. Blossom, I don't know you, but I just want you to know that I am definitely shook of you. I don't want no problems with you, Blossom. Okay? I'm letting you know right now, all right? You got me shook, okay? I'm letting you know, Blossom. I've been thinking about you all week long. All right, I've opened up my garage and have thought you were going to be there. Okay,
tell about that flight when you're on the flight.
Even the way, I dreamt about you on the flight. I was asleep and I jumped up like, holy shit! The night of Politicon, as I'm flying back, I'm like, holy shit! I'm like, Blossom is the one that looked in the camera and said, "You done fucked with the right one." I believe you, Blossom. All right, Blossom, I believe you. Okay, you don't have to prove anything to me. And even the way she tweets me is super aggressive.
Wow, what's she saying?
It's just her tweets. It's her tweeting style.
Yeah.
Like this morning, she's consistent too. I fuck with you, Blossom. She's consistent. Somebody tweeted me this morning. Goes, I had a dream that I kissed Charlemagne and his bottom lip smelled amazing. What is wrong with me? Blossom tweets us both and goes, everything. Everything's wrong. And I'm like, it was one word, but I heard 10. I heard everything. Everything's wrong with you, bitch. This bitch ass motherfucker. Fuck him. I'm like, Jesus Christ. Gosh. Listen, the moral of the story is this. I want to wrap a bow on this. If you're going to take anything from what we have talked about in the past 50 minutes, I condemn hate crimes, okay? But it's two different conversations going on. One is about disclosure, which what Duval was talking about. The other is about just the killing of trans people for being trans people. I don't ride with that. I don't condone that. I think that is whack. I had no.
I don't even believe in killing trans people for if they don't disclose.
I agree with that too.
Listen, if we have sex and you don't disclose to me and then you tell me later that you do it, I'm not going to kill you. I'm not going to fight you. I'm not going to do anything. I'm going to feel lied to, which is 100% right. I'm going to feel stealthed.
Absolutely.
You don't stealth me.
I'm not throwing my life away.
Hell no.
You know what I'm saying? Because whatever. I'm still like, this is another term I've learned. Watch this. Yeah. My masculinity is not that fragile. Right? Okay.
I don't like when they come at the man. So is my masculinity fragile because I don't like girls whose second toes longer? Is your masculinity fragile because you don't like one soft nipple? Is my masculinity fragile because I don't like an outie belly button?
My masculinity is not fragile? Because I'm the guy that gets on this podcast and says I like a little tongue in my ass. All right?
No, you said finger.
I've got a finger. My wife,
that's how fragile your masculinity is.
You just pulled back. And I married the woman who fingered me in the ass.
I heard you like it up to the webbing.
And I
heard you like it all the way up to that
shit. My asshole ain't that deep. Don't even lie on my asshole.
Oh, yeah? It's not that deep?
I married the woman who put a finger in my ass.
You didn't have a choice. She said, I'm going public.
Don't talk to me about fragile masculinity.
All right, so maybe our masculinity is fragile. Here's the thing. Why is there no empathy for that?
Why is there no empathy for what?
For stop texting you and you understand. Get off your phone, then you'll fucking understand why I'm talking to you.
I gotta set up the next meeting.
No, what you gotta do is when you finish talking, don't automatically look at your phone.
Okay.
That ruins discourse. That ruins conversation. Okay. You see how I look at you and have a conversation and listen?
I'm tired of getting yelled at.
Well, then fucking get used to it.
All week.
Get used to this shit.
And by the way, nobody can scare me with their yelling anymore because I have stood face to face with Blossom.
Blossom got you.
Right. Blossom is with the shit. Blossom was on the first season of I Am Kate.
I forgot what was I going to say? What were we just talking about? Oh, fragile masculinity?
Yes.
Oh, no, empathy. Here's the thing. We need to have empathy for what trans people go through. Charlamagne, look up from your phone. Charlamagne, look up from your phone.
I'm listening.
We need to have empathy from what trans people go through. Absolutely. How scary it must be for them to actually come out to them and all that kind of stuff.
Yes.
But trans people also need to have empathy for what, I don't know, I guess straight people, men and women, might feel in a sexual interaction with a trans person that they've never done before, they've never had before, etc. That might be a different thing for them.
Yeah.
You have to have some empathy for that. It is important because you don't know the lasting effects that can happen. So to me, it's not going to affect me that much. I don't know if that's because my masculinity is stronger. I don't know why that is. Maybe it's just because I don't have any hatred in my body toward trans people. Do whatever the fuck you want. I just don't care. It's your body. Do whatever the fuck you want. And if I'm into your body, I'm into the way you look, then shit, that's what I'm into. I can't control attraction. It's not up to me.
By the way, that's probably a great conversation I would like to have with somebody. Like it's got to be guys out there who specifically like having sex with trans women.
Oh, first of all,
had the full surgery.
A lot of comics. I know a lot of comics who like doing it, and they still have the dick. You went on Jim Norton does it. Yeah. You know Jim Norton. You went on the show with Jim Norton.
Oh, he does.
He loves trans women. Yeah, he talks about it all the time. Listen, he's public about it. But he likes the dick there too.
But see, that was the other thing, and I didn't realize this. Salute to my guy Raymond Braun. Raymond is, my co-host on Catfish Trolls. I should have brought Raymond in today, actually.
Real quick, also, sleeping with trans women is a straight thing. By the way, I know that sounds wild. But gay dudes don't like sleeping with trans women because gay dudes like dudes.
They like dudes, yeah.
You're not going to want a girl with makeup and lipstick and all these things.
Absolutely.
So it is a straight thing. I know that sounds like a weird thing to say.
But absolutely.
But
Suta got my guy Raymond because he put me on to something because when we're having these discussions, right? Yeah. Like when Duval is saying, if a trans woman doesn't disclose.
Yeah. Get away from that.
But what he's talking, like we're talking about people who've had the whole full bottom surgery.
Yeah.
To the casual listener who knows about this community,
they still got the penis.
That's what they think. They think like, that don't make, in their mind they're like, that don't make any sense. You slept with him, he still had a penis. You know what I'm saying?
This is an important conversation to have. You know how many women out there say they don't want to sleep with guys because they're uncircumcised?
I didn't know.
Tons of women out there are like, I don't like uncircumcised dudes. I'm not into uncircumcised dudes. I want a guy to be circumcised, etc. And I know tons of women who would say, I just don't like it. I don't want to be with it. So women are picky about a little extra skin on a penis, right?
Yeah.
But men are supposed to be completely understanding about the whole penis.
But the thing is, if you sleep with a woman who's a trans woman who has a penis, you already know what you're doing. And the other thing, a lot of the guys, and I learned this week, a lot of these guys have sex with trans women, and then they don't know how they feel about it. So they react with violence and want to take out the trans woman that they slept with.
Sure.
I didn't know that. I guess
absolutely.
It's a lot of different stuff I learned this week.
Bro,
and that's the other thing, too. Stop calling us ignorant when it comes to issues, because we are. We don't know this community.
You can't call...
why would I be taking Trans 101?
Oh God, you can't call people ignorant and want them to learn at the same time. It
makes no
It's like,
sense.
if somebody asks, there's no such thing as a dumb question. I'm sorry. If you truly want to know the answer to that shit, like if there's a white dude out there and he goes, why can't white people say the N-word, and actually says the N-word right there, is that a hateful person, or is that someone who actually wants to understand and know why? Never hate on questions, hate on statements.
I read an article.
Statements you could fucking hate on.
I agree. I read an article that said me and Envy were ignorant because of the questions we were asking Janet Mock, because we should know better. We should know more about the transgender community. Why would we?
Envy should, because he has high cheekbones. Envy kind of does. No. Envy should know better. I'm being serious. Envy should know better because he's got the high lady cheekbones. I'm sure many trans women have asked him, hey, where'd you get your cheeks done? I want to get cheeks like that in my transition. So Envy should know better. I will be honest about
Maybe
that.
they need to teach some type of course in school on how to deal with all type of diverse groups.
Fam, we're just learning about... I'm 33, you're what, 37 or something like that, right?
38.
38.
Maybe 39.
Whatever, how old the fuck you are. This is a very new thing for us, man. I grew up... Think about this. I grew up in Manhattan, New York City, right? The most open-minded place in the world. Down the block from my apartment, I had a school that was for transgender kids.
Oh, really?
It was a specific high school for kids that had sexual identity issues.
Wow.
So that they could be protected and they wouldn't be hurt, they wouldn't be bullied or anything in school.
That's probably dope, because you are around a bunch of kids that are growing the same way that you're growing.
Also understand you, yeah. So this, for me, and maybe that's why I'm so much more accepting of it, is because I was around me. I saw this, and I saw these people hanging out. I saw them listen to the same exact music we're listening to.
New York is the most diverse place in the world, by
Facts.
the way.
So, but the reality is, not everybody has that upbringing I have. Not everybody grows up a block away from a trans school. Right? So we have to give some people the opportunity to learn. If you're shitting on people it's like literally me looking at you and be like, how do you not know Spanish? Exactly. What do you hate Spanish people? Hola. How dare you? Oh, hola's all you know? That's it? God, you must hate Puerto Ricans. No, you just don't know anything yet.
I just don't know. So when you call us ignorant, we are. We don't know anything about this community. Like y'all, like I've seen that term a lot this week. Trans 101. I know nothing about it. Because guess what? I'm not in that world.
Yeah.
I'm not in that world.
Yeah. I thought it was so, it was, the fact that you're getting criticizing someone for asking a question is absurd. And you know why you criticize them? Is because you want to be on the moral high ground. You criticize, you can be like, oh my God, look at these people who don't understand my life, what pieces of shit they are. And then people go, you go, girl, look how great you are for pointing out hate. It's not hate. Yeah. If someone's asking a question, answer that motherfucker. Or if you're not willing to answer an ignorant question, then don't complain about ignorance.
Well, I asked Janet Mock that in the interview. If you go back and watch the interview, I said to her specifically, do you ever feel like, do you ever get tired of answering these questions because you feel like, people, even if people don't understand, you don't have to make them. Yeah. But that's the other thing. Like I say that about, gay people too. Like you don't have to come out the closet. You don't have to make announcements. Like you can be gay and live your life. It's really nobody's business.
Yeah, but it's got to be so hard to keep that inside.
But but see, some things you're not keeping them inside. You're just not running around saying who you fucking. There's plenty of guys out here that's getting a lot of pussy. And they ain't telling everybody who they fucking. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but at the same time, it's like when you're a homosexual or you're trans, it's like you have to overhear conversations at the bar or amongst your boys or any of these things.
Oh, no, see that? Yeah, I get that. Like,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you're holding it in this whole time. You're hearing your boys maybe making gay jokes or trans jokes and that kind of shit like that. And it's like, oh, do they not like me? Do they not accept me? Am I a piece of shit?
You need to let them know that, okay, I get that. That makes sense.
So you're carrying that weight.
Yeah. So if I'm gay, I'm going to tell you, you need to know I'm gay so you don't disrespect me.
And that's why I think oftentimes in communities that are more hateful towards gays or less accepting of gays and maybe trans, the people who do come out are way more flamboyant. And I think it's their way of saying, yo, I'm gay, yo. Hey, I want everybody in the room to know I'm gay so that no jokes are made.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that nobody's criticizing me or etc. Whereas like if you go to places where it's pretty open-minded to be a gay person, or they're very open-minded towards gays, at least like I found, like you go to like the Scandinavian countries, I don't know if the dudes are gay or not.
Why?
Like, because there's no effort to let people know. Gotcha. It's already accepted. Do you understand what I'm saying? So, it's
like, I see what you're saying. It's just like, I guess, probably racism in Africa. I'm sure it exists, but it's more black people.
Put it this way. It's not. You know what it is? It's a vegetarian restaurant in India.
That's normal.
Exactly. Like, or even better, like it's a restaurant that doesn't serve pork in the Muslim world. It's like you don't need to write on the restaurant, hey, we don't serve pork. It's understood in Muslim countries you're not serving pork.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think I understand what Andrew's saying. But this is the thing. All I give a fuck about is right and wrong, good and evil, God and Satan. I want everybody to be able to live their best life. I want everybody to be who the fuck they want to be.
Yeah.
And I want them to be who the fuck they want to be with no problems and no issues. All right? So, once again, I don't fuck with hate crimes. I condone hate crimes. I don't care who they're against. Like I said, I don't care if it's transgenders, blacks, whites, Puerto Ricans, Jewish people. We don't do hate crimes at all. Nobody should be getting killed for who the fuck they are.
Yeah.
But, transgender community, I'm not your enemy. Never have been your enemy. And I really think that we're missing the mark here by trying to pin something on someone who didn't even do anything. Don't defend y'all.
Yeah, exactly. And don't punish the show for the guests. Like, I mean,
I'm not even worried about that. Like, that is actually.
You should be worried about that.
No,
I think that's the biggest issue.
But that's why I'm not apologizing. And I'm not apologizing because I'm not apologizing for another man's words. Right. And if I apologize for Duval, then I got to apologize to the people who are offended by having Janet Mock on.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Or I got to apologize to the people who get offended when Dr. Umar's on. Exactly. I got to apologize to people who get offended when Minister Farrakhan's on. I'm not apologizing for those people's words.
Sure.
If you want a platform and you want to dispute something that's been said on the Breakfast Club, or you want to come on the Breakfast Club and rep your set, come on.
Well, and I will be honest with you. I think that you have more. There's more grounds to ask you to apologize for what Dr. Umar says than for what Duval said. Because you know when Umar comes on, by now, you know he's going to spit a bunch of lies. Whereas you don't know.
Not lies, things you don't agree with.
No lies. Blatant lies.
No.
Blatant, 100%.
Not always.
Completely fabricated
not
lies.
Always. Because you know why? Because and the funny thing about Dr. Umar, this is what I said. Everybody has.
Mandarin is a language, is a national language in South Africa. Blatant lie.
Wasn't a Buddha No. That, what you just said is a lie. It's not an official language. But what he did is what we all tend to do sometimes. We take what is a fact, which is Mandarin is being taught in a lot of schools in what's that, China? Where is it at?
Mandarin is China, but South Africa.
South Africa. Yeah. Mandarin is being taught in a lot of schools in South Africa. That is factual. That is an absolute fact.
Spanish is being taught in a lot of schools in America. It's not the national language.
But it's not an official language.
Yeah, that's what he said, official language.
But one thing I learned from that.
It's a huge difference.
But what I learned from that, I didn't know that they had 11 official languages in South Africa.
Okay.
I didn't know that.
Okay.
And there is articles that say Mandarin is has been presented as an official language of South Africa. The problem, and I told you this, and I told Dr. Umar this, stop fucking reading shit off the internet. Like, we got to do better research.
Absolutely.
Because that's what happens. Like, right now, you can go on the internet.
Like, Buddha does not mean black. Hare Krishna does not mean blackface. Like, I don't
even know nothing about that
Well,
shit.
he said both of those things on the pod. I can go through that interview and just debunk line after line.
Do it.
It's sociopathic
lying. Do it. But this is my thing. Nobody's doing it.
Point is.
You went on Roland Martin's show, and none of them could check him. None of them.
I actually thought that he was checked pretty well on that show.
How? He made them look crazy.
No, I don't think so.
Oh, come on. You know why? Because the guy called him a liar, but couldn't back up what he lied about. Well, when you're in a debate, you can't just say you lying. Tell me what you just did now. Yeah. You said he's lying. You gave me 3 reasons why he lied.
Yeah.
That guy didn't give 1.
Well, that's wrong. And you got to be able to do it. You got to. But the point I was trying to make about the Umar situation is like the first Umar interview, you're not responsible for. Maybe the second one you're not responsible for. But if the third one he's continually putting out facts that are misleading, then you have a responsibility as the person's platform. Just like when we didn't put Richard Spencer on this show, which I thought in retrospect, at the moment I didn't know, but in retrospect what I think was good reason, we know what he's going to say and we know the hate he's going to spew, and it's not worth giving that a platform. Duval's been your boy for forever. This is somebody, and my boy too. I love this motherfucker. Do you know what I mean? You would have no idea that this was going to happen on the show. You would have no idea that was going to be said. So you can't be held responsible.
Because I've never had that conversation.
Now, if it's Trans Week in America and your guest on Breakfast Club on Trans Week is Lil Duval, that might be something that's insensitive.
Yeah.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So then you could make the argument is what I'm trying to say. But you can't hold, because if we're holding the channel or the platform responsible for the guests. It's like, why are you not protesting every single channel that put the OJ parole trial on?
Put the OJ trial on.
This is an actual murder.
That puts Donald Trump on.
Every single one that interviews Trump.
And by the way, man, Donald Trump banned transgenders from the military. Correct? I feel like they're going harder at me than him. I'm being honest with you. You don't think maybe it's
no president. They haven't gone harder at any president than Donald Trump.
Bro, I'm talking about that community. Maybe I'm missing something. I feel like they coming at me harder than they are going at him.
You know why? Because they can affect you. They can't affect him.
Truth to the matter is they can't affect me either.
Ain't no advertisers for the presidency.
But listen, they can't affect me either. I care though. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, he don't care.
Like I care. He don't care.
Yeah,
I care. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't play big fish eats little fish. Yeah. That's not how I roll.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I'm gonna treat everybody equally.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's why that's why when Angela Yee says y'all want Janet Mock to come on the show, sure. Why not?
Yeah.
And when we spoke to her,
that's what bothered me about it is that I don't think you get enough credit for the good. And I'm one of these people who, if we're gonna criticize the bad, we gotta reward the good. Yo.
Don't if you don't give me the credit when people come on the show and say things you agree with,
then don't hold me responsible for
when
this.
People come on the show and say things you disagree with.
I was tweeting that out this week.
For real. Like, listen, that studio, you know how much flack I get? Like, it's a rainbow flag up in the studio. You know where that rainbow flag came from? It was a gift from somebody.
You know what's funny? I was taking mad screenshots of Dr. Umar with that behind him. Dr. Umar talking about this with gay marriage, and gays are wrong, and he just got this rainbow flag flopping in the back.
That's because somebody gave me that as a gift. If you open up the flag, it's signed to me.
Did you know Mandarin is an official language of the homosexual community?
It probably is.
No.
Mandarin?
We back, baby! We back! That's all it is, bro. Give us a shot. Give us a shot.
I can't get that off.
We gotta get it off, bro.
I'm supposed to just let that hang in the air. You threw me a nice alley, and I'm supposed to just look at it and not go and catch it and dunk it.
No. We dunking things out here, bro. It's still Lob City.
Our gay listeners are laughing at that one right now.
Absolutely.
All right? Come on. Now, but I'm just saying, man, like, I'm here for everybody. That's just the truth to the matter. Like I like to build bridges. I like to give people my platform. I want to be a voice for the voiceless, and I'm not going to let anything stop that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to stop people like Little Duval from coming on, except unless it's something like that.
Exactly.
Trans week, then that's insensitive. You know what I mean? I'm like, yo, nope, you got to sit this one out.
Sure.
You know, and I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. You want me to check them harder? Like, I don't know. I don't know what you wanted me to do in that situation. I don't see how you can get any more specific than you can't do that. It's a hate crime.
What do they want you to do? They want you to beat him up? Because that's the exact thing that we're trying to avoid happening to trans people.
I said specifically, you can't go around killing transgenders.
I know. It's fine.
You weren't hard enough.
Come here.
I don't think you were hard enough.
Come here. Come say that.
I don't think you were hard enough on him. I think that's the problem.
Get on that mic.
What do you mean?
Because I felt like, all right, you were like,
introduce yourself. First.
Oh, I'm Katira. Hi.
Katira. Hey, Katira.
And I think that you were like, oh, you can't say that. Ha ha ha. That's what you did.
Yo, we never asked women about this. This is a good question.
Okay.
Could you date a trans man? So someone born with a presenting as a woman and then transition to a man?
No, I don't think I could do that.
It's interesting that women never get any flack for that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because if a guy says that, we're automatically looked at as a bigot. But if we ask women about that, and I'd like to ask the gay community too, like, has this ever happened to gays? Like a gay guy, you meet another guy at a bar, and then you go home with them, and then you find out when you're home that it's actually a woman who has transitioned to a man, and maybe you really wanted to get dick down that night, and now you can't get dick down. I just like to. We only focus on men. Right? We only focus on how we feel about these things and how bigoted we are. But I think men are so open-minded. Like, here's a question. Could you date a guy who had a gay experience in the past? He was like, yo, I used to fuck dudes, but I don't
That was
an
episode of Insecure, by the way.
See, I don't know if I could do that either.
But what's funny is...
That was the episode of Insecure.
So real quick...
Molly left the guy.
So real quick, so you don't... No, I've asked tons of women
I asked Paige that the other day. I said, Paige, so if you was having sex with a guy and then the guy's dude came in and... started giving his guy head.
No, I'm leaving.
What would you do? That's what she said.
I'm leaving.
So this is how open-minded men are.
You guys can have that time.
No. Well, this is how open-minded, real quick.
Dude Raymond, who's... Damn, Raymond goes, okay, maybe not head. What if he ate his ass?
All I'm saying is, this is how open-minded men are, right? We get looked at like we're closed-minded, we're prejudiced, we're bigoted.
Yeah.
You know how many gay experiences girls that I've dated had? Every single girl that I've dated has had some kind of gay girl experience, and I'm never like, oh, I can't date you. I'm like, fuck yeah, do your thing. You know, if you want to eat some pussy, bring her on. I don't care. So I don't like the fact that we get looked at it like we're these bigots when, technically speaking, when it comes to our partners doing gay things, we are far more open-minded.
Listen, I want to go back to something Katara said, too.
Katira,
I'm sorry, Katira.
She's been on this show for a year, dog.
Hey, man.
Katara.
Hey, man. Okay. I don't remember shit. All right. You got to keep reminding me. All right. So, Katira.
Yeah.
Katira said that when Duval said what he said and I said, you can't do that, I laughed. I didn't, though. I did not laugh until he said that nigga doing this thing.
Yeah, but you had the woman on the show. You just had the woman on the show.
But who else to be a better? All right, check it out, right?
But you said it yourself. You said it many times that there's certain people that you cannot make fun of. You said blacks.
We didn't make fun of her, though.
Real quick.
No.
Real quick.
You didn't make fun of her, but you didn't defend her.
This is a comedian.
I said she's beautiful. I mean, there was no defense. No.
Charlamagne, you were not.
Katira, no. This is important. This is important. Real quick. This is very important. Let's say you giggled or you did something like that. Let's put in context what we're talking about. Chris Rock, arguably the best comedian ever, maybe arguably the best comedian alive, has said that the first lady, the reason why Bill Clinton was cheating is because Hillary wasn't sucking his dick enough. She should have been on her knees sucking his dick, right? He said that if Oprah hits him, that he's knocking Oprah the fuck out. These are verbatim lines of Chris talking about domestic violence and talking about cheating.
You know the difference? Duval wasn't making a joke. There was no joke.
He was very serious.
It was
and
no
he's
joke.
still serious to this day.
Yes, it wasn't a joke.
Well, I was assuming maybe you took it as a joke first. You're
I laughed when he said that nigga's doing his thing. The reason I laughed because of how he looked. Right. It was his eyes. It was his mannerisms. It was the fact he referred to her as a nigga. Like that. It just sounded funny. It had nothing to do with her.
Okay.
Now, when Envy held the book up, I don't know if you saw the full clip. The reason he was holding the book up was because I had just been talking about Janet.
Right.
I was trying to explain to Duval who Janet Mock was. I said she's a transgender activist, a beautiful person. Duval held the book up. Envy held the book up, and I go, now you can't tell me she's not pretty. Now, what I'm trying to do in that moment is normalize trans women.
Right.
Because you know how much flack I get for calling a trans woman beautiful from our cisgender, transphobic audience. Now they calling me the maggot, right? So I'm
so confused here. What? Okay,
it's nothing to be confused about though. So when I say that, I'm not making fun of her. Like,
why can't dudes be pretty?
They can be.
Some dudes are handsome. Some dudes are pretty.
Again,
what's the difference?
Once again, my masculinity is not. First of all, she's not a dude. They see you're making the same mistake.
No, I'm not talking about her.
Who are you talking about?
I'm talking about dudes in general. There are guys that are handsome, traditionally handsome, and then there are guys that are traditionally maybe pretty. They have more effeminate features, and they look more like women. If you look like a pretty woman, that's what it is. You look like a pretty woman.
To these guys that watch our show, she is a trans woman.
Yeah.
So they know she used to be a guy. So for me to say she's beautiful, they want to label me gay. That's what they do. But I don't care. So long story short, when I'm saying that about her, I'm just bigging her up.
Right.
Duval said, yo, that nigga doing his thing. I laughed at that because of the way it sounded, the way it looked.
It's a funny joke.
I didn't laugh at the trans violence.
Right.
My whole expression and everything changes when that conversation starts.
Also, you're allowed to laugh at how ludicrous something is.
That's true too.
Like,
I do that.
For example,
I do that.
Listen,
right.
I do.
I just think
Trump
that people were upset
the
that
time,
you didn't check
and then I laugh at it because it's ludicrous. So Trump will say, "We're going to build a wall," and I'm like, "Yo, what? You're going to do what? We're going to ban all the trans? You're going to? It's absurd." So you laugh at it. We laugh at absurdity all the time. If you watch any cartoon, now I'm not comparing what he said to cartoon, but the whole idea of any cartoon is Elmer Fudd walks around, shoots an animal right in the fucking head, and we laugh because it's absurd that this animal guy. Or what is it, Roger Rabbit or whatever the fuck his name is, or Bugs Bunny, gets shot right in his mouth.
You might go, this guy crazy. And I actually said that to Duval in an interview. I said, this nigga crazy. Mm-hmm. Right? I said, this nigga so crazy. But I don't understand, like, what was checking? Like, I mean, I don't understand what I said.
What do you want to be said?
Yeah, like,
no, I felt like you should have just said, basically, I do not condone this. I do not want this around me at all. Basically,
say that.
you said that on the in this podcast a few minutes ago. Back.
But I said to him, "You can't.
No, but you should have.
That's a hate crime."
Right.
I said you can't go around killing transgenders.
And you should have said, I do not condone his message. I think you should have said that. Because then that's when people are like, all right, he doesn't really mean.
But that's weird to me. And I'm going to tell you why that's weird to me. I don't see what's the difference between saying you can't do that. I said, you can't do that. That's a hate crime. And then saying you can't go around killing transgenders. Like, is that not me saying I don't condone this message?
The Warriors are the best basketball team. The Warriors are the incredibly best basketball team.
The Warriors are 73 and 9.
There's nothing better than the Warriors. It's like we're getting to the same point here. Like, I feel like we're pulling at straws. When is it going to be enough? Is it violence? Does he have to kill Duval because
Duval out the studio?
No, I don't think you should have did that. You should have checked them.
You don't kick people out the studio that try to beat you up.
No, that's not what you said.
That are trying to fight you.
Call him the N-word. Or her. See, you don't call her the N-word. You cannot say that.
Well, this is the problem with the Breakfast Club sometimes. You're so busy paying attention to me. Angela Yee said verbatim, she's a woman.
Look,
right.
She said that verbatim after he said that.
We already had this
You know what
conversation.
else Angela Yee said? Angela Yee said, Duval, you need to learn to be politically correct because what you're saying right now is offensive.
Right.
Nobody put that in any of the things.
All right, whatever.
Right.
I'm bored.
But I think they were just more focused on you.
Yeah.
Let's move on.
They really were.
They're always focused on trying to get me out the paint. But once again,
you're the most famous person on the team.
And guess what? I'm going to continue to grow. So we either going to grow together. You're just going to do you and I'm going to do me.
Listen, okay, let's just talk about Bobby
Let's pay some bills first.
And then we're done with this.
Thank you, Katara.
Okay.
Katira.
Thanks again to Squarespace for support. Shush. Thanks again for Squarespace for supporting this week's podcast. It's time to make your next move. So start with making your next website with Squarespace. Count on Squarespace to help you create an eye-catching online platform that brings your ideas to life. You even get a unique domain, an absolute necessity that will strengthen your brand and make it easier for visitors to find you. And with Squarespace's award-winning templates, creating a beautiful website is a simple and intuitive process. Everything happens in the browser, so there's nothing to install, patch, or upgrade ever. And Squarespace gives you everything you need to launch your online store, whether you're just getting started or you're an established man. Squarespace's powerful platform helps your businesses grow. Best of all, Squarespace has an award-winning 24/7 online customer support that can help you with any problem. Just think of them as your very own IT department. Make your next big move by starting a free trial at squarespace.com today. Enter the offer code IDIOT to get 10% off your first purchase. Again, that's offer code IDIOT, IDIOT, at squarespace.com to get 10% off your first purchase. Make your next move with Squarespace. Bobby Valentino. Let's just discuss it and then we finish with this. So if you guys don't know, Bobby Valentino, he got caught trying to steal some penis. He basically had hired.
We still don't know the situation.
Well, allegedly, we had hired a trans prostitute to have sex with, and then didn't pay her, and then the trans female prostitute, video recorded him.
Where did we get all of this from? Like all I saw.
The trans female. Let me just get it out. So the trans female prostitute video recorded and put it out. And I'll be honest with you, I 100% agree with what she did.
But
and
we
I'll
don't
tell
even
you
know
why.
if that's the case.
But where are we getting this from? I'm just going off of what it is. I'm just going off what we have.
No.
I'm just doing a Dr. Umar. I'm pulling a Dr. Umar.
We can't do a whole hour about fake news. I need you to cite your sources. Where did you get this story from?
From the trans woman.
She said this?
Yeah, she put it out on Instagram. She had a whole video.
I saw the video, but she didn't say why.
She had the caption. She absolutely did. He thought he could come in here and fuck with my money. You're not allowed to fuck with my money. My money means everything to me. I know you're going to think that this is fucked up, yada, yada, yada. You can look it up right now.
What if?
Can I explain why I'm supportive of this first?
Listen, but what if he came over?
Yeah.
Didn't know it was a trans woman. When he realized it was a trans woman, he didn't want to pay her anymore. So she feel like her time was wasted. So that's why she said that, don't fuck with my money. Because she could have been with somebody else getting paid. What if? I don't know. I'm just saying.
That's a great situation. So, okay, fine. I won't say what the exact situation was until we know. Now, Bobby V, his response was, I don't know why you guys are so negative. I'm happy. So he didn't deny any of this shit. He's just saying he's being positive. He's keeping it positive, this, that, whatever. That's fine. Look, it doesn't matter. Basically, point is, I totally support what this trans woman did, prostitute did, is because she really has no other recourse, right? This is somebody who is involved in an illegal trade of goods. She can't go to the police. She can't call the police and say, hey, I'm a prostitute. I was selling some sex to somebody and they didn't pay for me. I want you to arrest them. You don't get arrested for doing shit that's already illegal. It's just like if you're a drug dealer, you can't call the cops and say, listen, I got robbed for my drugs by this guy. Can you get me my drugs back? Okay. So the other recourse she has is to be violent with him. She didn't choose to do that, right? That's good. We don't want people to be violent. Shame was the only other avenue that she had. Unfortunately, now it's a shameful thing to, I guess, be with a trans person. That sucks. I hope it's not like that in the future. That being said, I think it's a better recourse. Don't fuck with her money. Don't fuck with her time, yo. If you had an agreement to pay this lady for the services rendered, pay her.
I'm going to be honest with you. I don't have an opinion on this situation because I don't even know what the fuck the situation is. I saw the video like everybody else, but I have no context to what that video was about. That's fair. Now, I will say that the young lady has reached out to the Breakfast Club. I will say that Bobby Valentino, I don't know if it's you or your PR people, but they are suckers. And the reason I say that they are suckers because they put out a press release, and in their press release they said, matter of fact, I'm going to read it verbatim for y'all. Hold on one second. I'm going to read you this press release goddamn batim, because this shit pissed me the fuck off. It didn't piss me off. It just made me be like, what the fuck is up with people?
What happened?
Let me go to this fire-ass group chat that we can never, ever, ever.
Yo, while you get that, I want to talk about this, the trans army ban real quick. I think this was all distraction, this trans army ban. I think that this is something that affects so few people. His reasoning for banning trans people from the army was medical costs. We're talking about the vast, vast minority of humans on the planet are trans, especially so in the army, right? So the amount of money that will be saved by not having trans people in the army is so minimal. It has nothing to do with cost. I think it's a distraction because he can't get anything passed. He can't get anything passed that he promised he would pass. The wall's not built. There's no health care bill. ISIS is still out there.
Bro, ain't no job security in the White House.
There's no immigration ban. Say what?
Ain't no job security in the White House either. Them motherfuckers got a high employee turnover rate. That's
absolutely.
I don't see how they getting anything done when they keep firing all the motherfuckers in the top positions.
Well, I don't even know what these positions are. You're the communications director. Like, what do you just talk to people? I actually am upset that they fired that guy Scaramucci. He was very entertaining. I think Trump fired that motherfucker because he wants to be the one loudmouth.
Trump needs to realize it's not Celebrity Apprentice.
He really acting like
He really acts like this.
That shit is fire.
Celebrity Apprentice.
All I'm trying to say is I think that this trans ban was complete. Honestly, I disagree with it, but I think it's complete nonsense just because, one, it doesn't effectively save us any money. And obviously, if you want to fight for your country and you meet all the requirements, fight for it. But most importantly, I think he's just distracting us from his lack of follow through. I really think it's what it is. That healthcare bill keeps on failing. He's like, okay, I got to do something to make them think that I'm actually supporting the base. I'm serving the base. Yeah. I think it's nonsense.
Listen, man, Bobby Valentino said, motherfucking, this is what he put out a press release. Valentino is alarmed by transphobic rhetoric dominating social media in connection to his experience. Valentino has no tolerance for hate speech and discrimination from his fans, the Trump administration, or the Breakfast Club. What the fuck? We got
so now you guys are involved with everything trans?
Like, what the fuck?
Wow.
And you know what? Out of spite, I said, you know what? I'm going to bring this young lady on the fucking radio. And she hit me up. I got her motherfucking email right here. You think I'm fucking bluffing? I'll tell you her name. Hold on one second, goddammit. Think it's a goddamn game with me. But I'm not going to do that to you, Bobby V. Because that's not what it's about. All that does is cause more motherfucking division between us and that community. But her name is Miss Rayma Houston. Salute to you. All right, just letting you know it's real. Now, I forgot my man Ermaine was in here. He was sitting there being
I'm
so
glad
quiet.
Ermaine's here because
we're going to London on Saturday.
Yeah.
August 5th. We're at the Soul Live Festival. What is it?
SO Live Festival. I don't think I want to talk about trans people on the podcast anymore.
Why?
Because we can't joke around. It's like I'm so in my head that I could say something that could be politicized and taken out of context and all this kind of shit. We talk about every single group of people.
It makes
it's a downer, yo.
And I'll tell you this, it's also discouraging. Meaning that if I open up my platform to somebody from that community,
this is what could happen.
And I say one wrong thing, or I don't know the language, so I say something that they don't agree with, it does me more harm than anything.
So the opportunity cost is too high. You're making opportunity cost. It's like we make fun of everybody here. We make jokes about everybody here.
But it's discouraging. It ain't even about it's not even making jokes.
For me, it is. I enjoy making jokes. I enjoy funny things. It's like I can't even joke around. Like somebody's gonna be upset about your boycott remark. I already know it right now.
Nah, I said that already.
What was I going to say? Oh, it's insensitive.
No, it's not, because I'm asking. I need to know. That's not insensitive. That's actually me trying to be more sensitive. Like, are you sure you can say boycott when it comes to transgenders protesting you? Just want to make sure. That's it. Now, Ermaine is from London.
Yeah, South London.
We had
still.
Ermaine on before. He raps.
Yeah.
What's happening?
Ermaine was one of the guys that would just be downstairs waiting for you every single morning.
He's still doing that.
You still do that?
Yeah, I mean, whenever. Obviously, my life is different now. I got a job, and I'm trying to stay alive while I'm trying to do this music thing. So whenever, if I get a day off, I might, come
by
up here. And it's crazy. The last 2 times I came, I seen French Montana. He's from Morocco. I'm from Morocco.
Oh, you're Moroccan?
Yeah, I'm from Morocco. And
how they feel about trans people out there?
Jesus Christ! Okay,
I don't know about that.
All right, God bless all the transgender people. Like, stop. All right.
Yeah. Okay. Still, I don't know, but yeah, I remember one time when I first came, used to come up here. Like, I was just a kid. Like, I was 17 when I came to America, and I left like everything. I'm just like, yo, I need to do this music thing. Like, I had all my homies, they believed in me, so I was like, yo, I'm gonna go and do it. But as my life, what I'm saying, as life changed, real life hit, you start realizing like, yo, not really what it seemed and shit like that.
When you're chasing your dreams, you still got to deal with your reality.
Yeah.
That's all it boils down to.
That's
so you
really
got to get a job, you got to go to school, you got to deal with the reality of life.
But obviously, my situation was kind of different because I'm not from here. I'm not a U.S. citizen. I can't make legitimate money. You know what I'm saying? I can't do none of that.
So you're here illegally?
You can't get a job?
No, I'm not here illegally. My situation is good. I'm just like, whatever, but we find ways to do what we need to do to get by, you know what I'm saying? And that's working, but, like...
Are you admitting to selling drugs right now, Ermaine?
I never ever said that. I said we do what we need to do to get by. That's not selling drugs.
I think the worst, Andrew. Like, Jesus Christ.
That sounds druggy, Ermaine.
No, it doesn't.
If a white person said that, would you think the same thing?
You are a white person.
But I'm just saying, somebody that looks like
what are you
though.
talking about?
According to him, I'm white. I don't know.
He looks white to me. I don't know.
Like, even when I grew up, like,
what do you identify as?
I don't. I'm Moroccan. Like, I don't know. You can identify me as what you want because I walk through New York. They think I'm Spanish, whatever, and this and that. So it is what it is. I just learned to play into your stereotype when it benefits you. All right, cool. You think I'm Spanish? All right, cool. I'm just Mac over here. I'm chilling. Like, I can just ride around through New York and just be me, and nobody's gonna look at me. Yeah. So I learned to use that to my advantage rather than someone speaking to me Spanish. Be like, no, I'm from Morocco or this or that. Oh, ¿cómo estás, primo? Bueno, sí, claro. You know what I'm saying? Just learn picking up things because being in my situation, that's the kind of people that I was working with. Like, I used to live in LA and I had a shorty, I had a crib and everything. And I used to work like 80 hours a week. I used to work in a smoke shop in Compton. I used to open and close that shit by myself, like 7 days a week. I used to work in a hookah lounge in a restaurant, being like a busboy and whatever. And all the people I worked with, they was Mexican like immigrants, like undocumented immigrants. And it's like, you see how people villainize them. And it's like, yo, they people. Like, we just all grew up in different circumstances and we have to just make the most out of what we can. So it is what it is. I just learned to not judge and just show love, period.
You got an album, a project?
Yeah,
out, right?
Moroccan Boy. I just dropped it like July 1st. So that's what's going on right now. So please check that out. SoundCloud, you can go ERMAINE. That's my SoundCloud, and then it's right there. Moroccan Boy. It's got 9 songs. We shooting a video for 100 grand. We already got a video out for Flossing, and yeah, just been back in New York since November. I drove here from Cali by myself and shit. Yeah.
Last time we was in London, you was in the club and you was grinding on a young lady that was with us. Did you have sexual relations?
No, I don't know. What are you talking about?
Because everybody,
no comment.
She keeps denying it. You keep denying it. It just looked like y'all was about to have sex with each other.
Are you sure it was me?
Yes, it was you.
I don't know, bro.
Ooh, I don't remember this girl.
I do.
So wait, are you? Do you speak Berber?
Yeah, it's like we call it Darija. It's our own kind of
dialect of it.
Yeah, dialect of Arabic because we was ruled by France and Spain.
Well, isn't Berber different than Arabic though?
Yeah,
Berber
it's different. Like I can't read and write Arabic.
Right.
Growing up, my parents they tried to send me to like Arabic school, but it's like, yo, I don't know what the fuck these motherfuckers talking about here.
Yeah.
Like, and that's another thing. Like, people identify me as Arab because I'm Muslim, but it's like
you're African.
Yeah, I'm African. Yeah. So it's like, yo, it's my whole life has been like, I just been finding out more shit about myself that I didn't know. Like, you grow up thinking like people telling you, no, you this or this is how life is. But when you really go out and experience life for yourself, you really understand where it is. And it's like when you understand that, nobody can take that away from you.
Yeah. It's like you often fit into, like, people make sense of who you are based on what they know.
Yeah.
Right? Like with me, everybody thinks I'm either Jewish or Italian, like all these things that I'm not at all.
Yeah.
And with you in New York, you're Puerto Rican. In Morocco, you're Moroccan.
Yeah.
And maybe the south of Spain, you're Moroccan. But if you go to Cali now, is he like a tall Mexican? Like, who is this
they
guy?
used to call me that.
Exactly. You know what I mean? Like, they try. I swear to God, in Cali, when I used to go to school and I would like start growing out a mustache, I know it sounds so stereotypical. People would start to think that I was Mexican.
Yeah, because you probably get the sun and everything. So you,
I need some.
The thing is, once you say you're Moroccan, they just say, "Oh, you're French Montana."
So French Montana put on. He's the man. He's the man. Yeah, put on for us.
So do you think? So you have somebody that's. Do you say the N-word?
I mean, people have told me that. Like, that's not.
What's your take on that? Actually, yeah.
The N-word. I mean, growing up in London, we never really used that. Like, it's not because the N-word is an American thing. Like, at the end of the day, I'm not from America.
Right.
This is something that I've experienced coming here. Coming here since I came here, I've been living in the hood.
Yeah.
People. Yo, you my nigga, I'm your nigga, this and that. Obviously, in London, I grew up with Jamaicans, I grew up with black people.
Right,
you know what I'm saying? So I was always identified as that because they would think I'm biracial. They would think my dad was black and my mom was white.
I can see that too.
And because I had curly hair as well. When I didn't have the hair, they'd be like, oh, maybe you Spanish or something.
Right.
But yeah, so I don't know. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? I don't use it for a way. I don't even like to use it like that. You know what I'm saying? It's just the environment
has a
that
black
we're
guy
in.
ever said anything to you about it? Have they ever
never.
Questioned?
Never.
Yeah.
But I don't use it in that way. Like, I'm not out here like, yo, my nigga, what's good, bro? Like just on some obnoxious shit. Like, it don't make sense to me because that's something that's not gonna be viewed at in a good way. Period.
Now,
right?
how is London really right now? Because that's been a
bro. I ain't gonna lie, I ain't been there for 2 years, bro. Like, I miss London. I miss home. I wish I could be there. Like, I heard you guys talk about a tower block that was on fire.
The green
Grenfell Tower.
Grenfell.
My brother, like, not my blood brother, but who I grew up with. He lived on the 21st floor. He died with his whole family.
Holy shit!
Like, it was crazy. I remember waking up.
Can you explain that situation to us a little bit?
Like, it don't make sense to me because they say that a quote-unquote malfunctioned fridge set this whole building on fire, and according to them, a year ago, before this fire went on, they put some sort of millions into the building. I don't know how many millions, but it was in the millions to refurbish the building with materials and shit. And they say the materials they used helped to spread the fire.
Spread the fire faster.
And so they were flammable materials,
yeah.
you're saying?
I remember going to that building. I remember being there. I used to be there. Bro, it's one of the oldest, we would call that the projects.
That's what I was
a
wondering.
council
It's public
estate.
housing, yeah.
Most people that live there was Moroccan. That's a Moroccan area. I used to be there all the time.
So it's a poor and disenfranchised.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like,
so are people thinking that this was purposely done? Or
that's what they thinking.
Some nefarious.
They don't know. They don't know no better. So it's just like they in the hood. They have no hope. So it's like they're gonna believe whatever's gonna make them feel better. Me, I understand a little more. Like, I don't know. I can't really, I'm not going to say this person done it for this.
Right.
It is an area in West London that is very expensive to live there. So
this housing project is in the way of maybe new places going up.
Who knows? But that could be a possibility.
I mean, I'm not going to lie. This has happened in the States a lot. They want to build a stadium, and there's some old lady's house that needs to get out of there. All of a sudden, they say that there's something wrong with the piping.
Yeah,
they say there's something wrong with the electric.
You'll know who did it based off
what they build next.
Word out, what they replace there.
Rest in peace to Yasin. Yasin, by the way, it's my dog.
So is London is it crazy with terrorists and all that right now?
Charlemagne's afraid.
I mean,
I'm not afraid.
I don't know. Like,
Charlemagne, you're afraid.
I was face to face with Blossom. Nothing scares me anymore. God damn it. All right, that's the only person I am afraid of at this moment.
Charlemagne had a friend of his from London call me on three-way.
That was him.
That was you?
Me, yeah.
I thought you said Amin. You said Amin.
No, that was me.
Bro, you said Amin. I'm like, who the fuck is this guy?
No, that was me. That was
Ermaine.
me. Yeah.
Oh, shit.
I didn't make that up.
Why didn't you tell? I know Ermaine.
Yeah, it was Ermaine.
Yeah.
So I'm talking to this guy like a complete stranger on the phone. Oh, shit. Okay.
I didn't know. But yeah, man.
I thought he said Amin.
But yeah, no, I just I don't know, because I came to America, I've been here since I was 17. Like, I've been back and forth for like the first year. But since then, I've been here, like, you know, so I don't know what it's like. I just hear things. You know what I'm saying? And it's crazy, like, already what's going on. Like, the same shit that goes on in America goes on there. Like, they might feel like, oh, you sit and drink tea with the queen, but best believe you go, niggas is trapping, niggas got everything set up. But that's not something we should be proud of. Do you know what I'm saying? Because we're just, this is what happens in this kind of environment worldwide. If you don't have the means to do, like, if there's not a positive way to get something, like to get money or this or that, niggas gonna be like, all right, cool, let's go buy this, let's go do that, and this and that. That's where that comes from.
They say relative poverty is where crime it comes from, right? So it's, if everybody's poor, nobody's breaking the law. It's when you got some rich people over here and you're broke and you're looking at these rich people like, yo, how the fuck do I get rich like them?
In the hood, though, you have to understand, in the hood, you walking down, you looking broke. You see a nigga with some Louboutins. You like, wow, they 4 G's in the shop. Like, how you got that? Oh, what you want? All right, let's get this money, bro. Because at the end of the day, bro, you gotta
wear a sweatsuit on Saturday is what you're saying.
Exactly. Like, if you live in a hood, dress like shit and nobody kills each other.
That's about me. I'm talking about
you always wear a sweatsuit. I've never seen you.
That's just what the product of the environment is,
you never heard anybody go, yo, look what Charlotte got on. That never happened.
No, I don't wear my money.
No, that's facts. But you humble, though. That's you. You know what I'm saying? I'm just explaining what goes on. I'm not saying that's for me or whatever. I'm just telling you what I've seen in my experiences growing up in South London, coming to America at 17, trying to do this music. You know what I'm saying? That's just my experience. That's all I realized I can tell, is like, tell my story.
We'll be out there Saturday, man. Where we at again? So
yeah, the Shout Out Live Festival, and make sure you check it out. My feeling is, like, I don't want to let the media I don't want to let a media and how the media portrays certain groups of people, be it Muslims, be it, black people, whatever, be it, white people, be it transgender. I don't want to let how they portray these people affect my feelings towards them. Do you know what I mean? Like, I know from my experiences with people from all these different groups that I don't feel this way that the media wants me to feel. I don't feel afraid. I don't feel nervous. I feel like everybody has the capability of taking jokes and sense of humor. I don't feel like everybody's sensitive little babies. You know what I mean? Like, just because I interact with these people on an everyday basis. So if you're gonna tell me to be scared, you're gonna tell me to be scared of Muslims in London. I'm like, nah, because I got friends that are from London that are Muslim that I've been joking around with my whole fucking life, and they look at these people and they look at these things that happen and they go, this is fucked up. And you know who gets the worst? We do. No, I gotta deal with this kind of shit.
No, the only reason why I said that is because I watched the Brilliant Idiots like all the time. Like, I watched the whole video shit, just be chilling, and I seen what he said. Like, I don't want to say it or whatever, but I just seen what you said, and I wasn't offended because I'm like, yo, he's a comedian, he does what he does, you know. But it's just, I just seen how somebody else could be offended.
Someone could always be offended.
Yeah, and maybe I was just saying it from, maybe you didn't see it from that way, and I was just giving you my opinion.
Which is great. I want people's
because that's what it's about. It's just about conversation rather than getting fist fights and guns and shit that don't prove nothing.
Now, end us with some bars, Ermaine.
Yeah, all right. Listen.
Some bars before we close this up.
This is from my song Pursuit of Happiness. I don't know what track it is. It's track 6. All right. Pursuing my happiness. I remember living mad depressed, sleeping on floors, ain't no mattresses, laying my head where my jacket is. That was my pillow, nigga. Look at the shit that I've been through, nigga. I was crying, wetting tissues, nigga. Wishing that Eunice was with her, nigga. I was sleeping in a bando. Woke up, nigga sniffing coke. It was crazy, man, I didn't know. I was homeless, had nowhere to go. See, I never told a lie. Not once, not twice. Had to figure out my life. 19 with a wife. I was trying to make a perfect home. God damn, was a nigga wrong? See, I thought that was the right path. Tried it and nigga, my life crashed. I was stuck trying to question. Police, they searched me for weapons. Living this life how we get it. Nothing I did, I regret it. Ermaine.
Okay.
You did drop some M-bombs, but hot.
A lot of M-bombs. A lot of M-bombs, you know what I'm saying?
It was hot though, man.
I didn't know you couldn't use the N-word until you told us this now. You don't think you should. I didn't know. I had no idea. You know what I mean?
That's it. Well, it comes off right with you.
Give me
yeah, Ermaine music, follow me. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Angela Wright. I seen he try to shoot his shot, but when I get my life together, I'm comfy, you feel me? I feel like she can educate me. I just need some education in my life.
Angela right now, matter of fact.
All right, holler at her for me, baby girl. yo. South London, we here. We on the Brilliant Idiots. I'm just happy to be here, bro.
Salute to Angela's
Thank
podcast.
you for coming by
one.
again, man. Oh yeah, how's her podcast doing?
Doing really well. She's got April. What's April's name? What's the reporter?
I saw that.
April
that
Ryan.
Cool. Yeah.
April Ryan. She got April Ryan on this week. So yeah, go check that out. But as always, we'll see you on Saturday, London.
Yeah.
So Live Festival. But as always, if you listen to this podcast, you think we're smart, you think we're intelligent, you think we're brilliant, you're absolutely right. If you think we're just a couple idiots who don't know shit,